Hey everybody, it's Teepa. And this morning I thought I'd talk a little bit about a question that came in on how do you help someone eat or get someone to eat who is not interested in eating, not eating. And I wish it was an easy answer. It's actually pretty complicated because we have to dig in a little bit further, get real curious about some things. So if we look at puzzle pieces, we have the person, we have the people who provide support and help, we have the person's body and their sensory experience and their mental health and their well-being and medications and all that kind of stuff. And around the person, we have the environment. Where are they? What's going on around them? Then we have over on this side, again, for the person, we have the dementia. Where are they with their dementia? What kind of dementia? How long have they had it? What else do they have going on other than the brain changes of dementia that might be impacting their brain? And on this side, we have how are people spending time? How much time when? Well, how does it fit into the day kind of thing? So we look at these puzzle pieces. So someone's not eating. The first kinds of questions I tend to ask is are they hungry and they're not eating, or they're not hungry and they're not eating? Are they drinking but not eating? Are they eating small amounts or not eating anything at all? Are they refusing to have things in their mouth, or are they putting things in their mouth, but then they're not actually chewing and swallowing? They might be spitting that back out. Are they, what type of foods have we tried? Have we tried things that have really strong smells that are real positive smells? Have we tried things that have a really good flavor for the person as far as what we know from their background, what they might enjoy? Are we looking at things that are easy to consume or harder to consume? How about temperatures, textures, all kinds of things about the person and how much they like what they like. But then we also want to look at things like oral health. We want to look at the ability to smell and taste the food. We want to look at whether or not the people can see and seem to know what's going on with the food. We also want to look and figure out if they're hearing us, what they're hearing from us. Ooh, hey Bob, I have a big favor to ask of you. I I had some ice cream and I wonder if you would mind tasting for it. Let me know what you think about it. Here, give it a taste. Or do they need some physical assist? Or is it different? They just don't seem to be interested in food. So depending on where they are in their dementia, what type of dementia they have, I'm going to be super aware that not being hungry, not eating can be part of brain changes, or it could be that I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm anxious. And when people get into those states, not everybody overeats. Some people actually don't eat. We want to also look at could this be part of the end of life process for someone? And then again, could it be because how we're providing the support and help is so stressful or distressful that the person simply isn't interested in eating? And it's not because I don't love the person or care about the person, maybe just how I'm going about it is creating a sense of distress or anxiety. So I'm going to show you a few clips of people who are having difficulty eating. I want you to take a look at them and see what you think some of the issues might be. So let's take a look. These are from Accepting the Challenge, which is a video that we have available, done by Melanie and I a good long while ago. Um, and I'm not going to play the sound because mostly I want you to watch what's happening. So this is someone named Susie. And so let's see what happens when Susie's at the table here. So she nibbled on a piece of biscuit. But what I want you to recognize and realize is look at the guy across the table. He's pretty much finished everything. Frank has pretty much eaten everything he had, and Susie's been sitting there the same length of time. Notice that Frank didn't drink very much. Susie hasn't had a lot to drink because they fill it up halfway. It's a pretty large cup for that amount of food or drink, excuse me. And if you notice, everything on Susie's plate's still there, whereas Frank's, he's pretty much done with quite a bit of the food. So let's keep watching Susie for a few seconds. So if you watch, so is she eating? The answer is yes. Is she eating well enough to maintain her body weight? No, not at all. So she's someone who could use some significant intervention. Now I'm going to run it forward. You'll watch me come in, make a little sandwich with her, see what happens if she can eat the sandwich. She can, and I'll leave. Now here's another lady. This one I want you to watch for her. Oops, let me get to the right place. Uh, she's exploring her food and she's sort of interested in it, but watch what happens. So she's got the utensil, but rather than eating the food, she's moving the food from one area to another. Um, she's getting applesauce on. Now she does taste the food, but she then still doesn't go, oh, yeah, that's food, and start eating it. So what you'll see is she moves things around on her plate a good bit, but she doesn't actually consume it, which is not particularly helpful. So this lady has a different issue, similar kind of ability state, similar in her dementia. The problem is she also has severe macular degeneration. So she has no center field of vision and she's trying to figure things out. And she does eat. So this is not a case where she's not hungry and she's not eating. She is. So now, if we look at one other person, let me bring you back over here. Here's our lady. Um, she did get some help and she's still doing the thing with the applesauce, which is not how I would do it, but it's certainly how she was doing it. And here's a situation where it's a particular type of food that's the problem. She couldn't figure out how to cut up the sausage, so she'd eaten everything else and left the sausage. And it's not like she doesn't like sausage. She just couldn't figure out what to do with the sausage to make it work. So there she goes. Now she's got that, and she uses the piece of bread as sort of a push against. So she's eating okay. But then if we watch, here's a lady who is like, she's been sitting here the whole time. And so what she happens for her is you put the food in her hand and she will. Oh, she ate a bite. But the problem was she made no effort to eat it. So I want to pause there because what I want us to talk for a few seconds about in all these cases, it isn't really that people aren't hungry and aren't interested in eating. It's that they can't figure out how to do the eating. On the other hand, you could have someone who you try to help eat. And depending on how you try to help them eat, they may or may not be interested in eating. So we do work on hand under hand. And another time I'll show you a video on providing that kind of support. It took someone from not eating at all, refusing to eat, to actually eating and regaining body weight. But there is a time and a place for us to ask the question, is the reason they're not eating because their brain is no longer desiring the nourishment because it knows that it's just not working? Or are they not eating because they're actively dying? Or are they not eating because they find how we help them eat so unpleasant, or what we're trying to get them to eat so unhelpful or unpleasant that they don't want to do it? So it's a question, some of, is it an apathy kind of thing? Is it a giving up of living kind of thing? Is it, I don't like the sensory experience that I'm having kind of thing? We got to sort of get curious, a little bit more curious. So, if you have a question about eating and you want to have more support, more information, let us know because we do have a few webinars on nourishment, hydration, eating. We also have some resources on that. And we even do complimentary consults to get it all kicked off. So if you're feeling like, I don't know, we can help problem solve it because that's what we do. So I'm wondering if you have any other questions. If so, let us know. And for this morning, take care of yourself, take care of your care, and take care with your care. Because when we say things like she won't eat, I want to be thoughtful that it's a sense that she won't, she can't, she doesn't know how, she doesn't like the eating, her brain can't help her with eating. How we say what we say, how we think about what we experience can make a huge difference in what comes next. So consider, what could it be? And what it could be, maybe a message rather than just a task. All right. Talk to you later.